we got ourselves new images. They're hitting shelves, maybe, of Ghostbusters Frozen Kingdom action figures, and we're going to talk about them on this episode of Geek Dad Life 2. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Life 2. I guess that's it. Ghostbusters 2 is just Ghostbusters 2. There's no tagline, but excited that we're finally seeing some images of the Ghostbuster toys that hopefully we will all be getting soonish. We're talking about all of that today. We've got action figures, vehicles, role play items, as well as maybe a sign of when we can expect to find these toys on the internet. We're going to talk about all of that on this episode. Thank you so much for coming to hang out live. For those that are hanging out live, let me say hello to the chat. We got Brian Carr, Video Power Gaming, Dartherian, Joey, Charlie Weeva is here, Shiny Plastic People, Alpha Magnus, Quip, Toy Geekosaurus, Ashnod, Don Bringer. Ashnod, I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. BMM is here. Judy is here. Mecha Man Blade. Nick Dillinger is here. Rabbit McGavin. Free Reign. Andrew Riley. Riley Bob. Quip Bustin' More in 24. Oh, I like that. Imagery. Juan Carlos Redondo. Firehouse indeed. Even though we don't really have a Firehouse toy to look at the moment. We don't know yet what's to come. It's kind of weird. We haven't had any really kind of official announcement on any of the toys yet, other than like confirmations online and stuff like that. Jeff White put pants on for this show. Thank you for that. Hey, well, welcome to not being a lurker. I'm a lurker a lot of the times too, so no judgment to any lurkers, but come hang out, come be a part of the chat live, and have some fun. All right, so today is the beginning of the new year. It is Busting More in 24, and the reason I was a little bit late starting the stream is I wanted to cut this video to officially wish you all a happy new year. Oh, I don't even have the sound set up for it. Hold on, I gotta change that real quick. I'm gonna change the settings in real time. Microphone is gonna be back. All right, this should work now. Just make sure I got quick time. Here we go.
Happy New Year. Here's Beagle.
There we go. Happy New Year. Maybe if we have enough time by the time we kind of close out this episode, we can talk about whether or not Ghostbusters 2 is a Christmas movie or a New Year's movie. I think it should be one of the few New Year's movies. I feel like it's a core concept to the film, even though there's Christmas time. But I think it at its core is a New Year's movie. Since the whole climax of the film centers around bringing in the new year, which I guess, is it 1989 or 1990? It's an 89 movie. But are we assuming it's 89 already and it's going? I don't know. There's a lot of questions I think we can ask about Ghostbusters 2 and whether or not it's a New Year's movie. Chad Stewart, no, you can't be on right now. Can't you watch? Can't watch you and the Rose Bowl game at the same time. Couldn't wait. Could you? Hey, listen. Good luck to. I'm guessing Michigan Wolverines. I hope they win. I don't know who they're going against. Even though my family, or at least one part of it's a big Ohio State people. I know y'all butt heads and stuff. I don't have a rat in the race, so to speak. So good luck to your team. Matt Bush, $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Matt Bush. Happy 2024. Catch the replay. New Year's movie, says Kate L. Thank you, Kate. Alpha Max, it's New Year's. Boom. Okay, there you go. Tom Charlton confirms 89 going into 90. To go boldly, please spare a thought for this Star Trek fan where it seems Playmates have totally dropped the ball. I know, I guess, there's, I think it's been officially confirmed they're done with their Star Trek lines again, which is a bummer. Because I thought there was a lot to like there. I don't think it was perfect, but I think there was a lot to like that they could build on. It just didn't really click the way they needed it to. Excuse you, Jay. It's the Ohio. I know it's the Ohio State. Again, I have a subset of family, diehard Buckeyes. So I wish them all the luck in the world too. I just want everybody to win, unless it's the Padres, and I want them to win above all else. Can it be both? Give me a reason to wear my flight suit to work for dress like a Christmas movie. Okay, Fine. You know what? It can be both. That's fine. Old Musical Express, Happy New Year from the UK, Jay. Thank you, Old Musical Express. And thank you, everybody, for coming and hang out. Let's see. I'm watching you and the Rose Bowl game. All right, that's great. Again, Rose Bowl is something that's near and dear to my heart because I have family in LA. And I go to the Rose Bowl flea market from time to time when I'm visiting LA family. And for us toy collectors, us toy hunters out there that like flea markets or swap meets, it is, I think, out of all the swap meets or flea markets that I've been to, the Rose Bowl swap meet, is it swap meet or flea market? I don't know, interchangeable, is the biggest one I've ever been to. It's insane. But anyway, okay. Let's no more yammering. If we got time, we can get into a philosophical debate about Ghostbusters 2 being a New Year's movie or not. But Happy New Year's. I hope everybody had a safe and healthy and happy New Year's Eve into New Year's. In our house, Zach stayed up for the first time till midnight. He's 9. So he was really proud of himself that he didn't fall asleep before the ball dropped. So anyway, all right. I talked a little bit about this on the After Dark show Saturday night. It's weird it's Monday. We did on Saturday instead of Sunday because of New Year's Eve. The figures that got revealed. And then today on Target's website, listings popped up. They may have been taking orders on them or not, but that was immediately kind of turned to sold out. But we have the images for a whole bunch of stuff. These here are featured on Ghostbusters News. So we're going to dig into those. Ramen Toy in the house. Good to see you, Ramen Toy. Congrats on another successful run of the Gold Wing. What is it? I guess whatever you call it, whatever the name is. Aaron E. Nichols is Slimer in the new movie. Well, let's dig into it. I guess you could say these toys venture into slightly spoilerific territories in the way that toys can. I don't like spoilers, but toy spoilers aren't as big a deal for me just because we don't know the context. We don't know how it actually play out in the film until we see it. Vis-a-vis any of the Star Wars figures that we bought for episode 1. We just bought them and we expected them to be in the movie. We had no idea how it would play out. And so toy spoilers to me is not that big of a deal. But if it's something that is concerning to you, I guess a very light spoiler alert. But again, I haven't seen the movie. I have no idea what's going to happen in this film. In fact, I have friends that have been more intimately involved with this film. And I have asked them specifically not to tell me anything that they know, because I really do want to go into it as I don't know, fresh-eyed and pure as possible. But yeah, I agree. Slimer isn't too spoiler. Other than that, he wasn't in Afterlife. But at the end of Afterlife, I think it was the last post-credit scene was the kind of that pan shot in the firehouse to the containment unit and the light started blinking. Don't know if that's Slimer or not, but maybe that's Slimer. I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out. But actually, no, that doesn't make any sense because Slimer was loose in Ghostbusters 2. So anyway, we can just assume that Slimer has been hanging around New York City for 40 years. We'll see. Folks who bought the Star Wars Episode 1 figures got really exactly. Going good. That's what I thought. Anyway, KL saying up for the first time was big. He was so excited. Zach was super excited. All right. And if you watch the After Dark episode with Dole, Colleen, and I've already said it, but I am in love with the artwork for these figures. It looks so freaking good. I'm going to try and download this picture real quick so we can look at it in a bigger size. Because while this is pretty much a re-release of the one we got for Ghostbusters Afterlife, I think it looks so freaking good. Why is it not showing up? I'm just going to drag it. I'm going to drag and drop then. It wants to play that way. I'm going to pull it up so I can zoom in a little bit on this artwork because I liked the Ghostbusters Afterlife artwork. I thought it was more engaging than the Mattel stuff for Answer the Call. But whatever design team did the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire stuff, I think they've really nailed it. And we'll look at the individual figures in a second. But this Ecto-1 box art is so freaking good. I love it. I love the Ecto 1. We've got the firehouse in it back here. We've got Slimer on the front. We've got a drone trap, which is slightly spoilery. We had an RC trap in Afterlife. The only logical next step would be a drone trap. Again, I don't know what Hasbro has planned for their toys, but if they're not tapping into the drone toy market with this, that's a big swing and a miss, because having two young boys, myself, 9 and 5 years old, they love drones. Drones are like their favorite toys. Anything that's RC or flies, they freaking love. And so if they could do a Ghost Trap drone toy, I think that would be a really, really hot toy item. They already play with, and so again, having me for a father means they have a bunch of these vintage and newer Ghostbuster roleplay toys. They already love playing Ghostbusters, but if there's one thing they didn't really deliver on, because the RTV trap wasn't fully released, for reasons that I don't necessarily agree with, we didn't really get a trap. So they're still playing with my old Kenner trap, which they have broken in several different ways. So having a drone toy trap would be really freaking cool. Again, we don't have anything confirmed one way or another, but they really should do that. See, Ramen says the Hasbro booth at Nuremberg will showcase these new toys. The thing is, and Ramen, at least when I went last year, and I'll be there again this year, Hasbro, the way they set up their booth, it's like a walled city. So unless you are like a buyer for toys and stuff, you can't go inside and see the stuff. I only got to go inside the Mattel one, which was even more of they actually had their own permanent showcase floor, was by, pulling a few favors with it, trying to get invites into the space. But so they may showcase these new toys, but they won't be for anybody just walking around to be able to see. Unfortunately, there are toy companies that do showcase their stuff, but Hasbro is not one of those ones. In fact, I did have friends that went into the Hasbro booth, and everything that was in there was like publicly known, but you couldn't go inside and see that. And they had special like back rooms behind closed doors where they would show, I guess, the more spoilery stuff. But that you had to like sign all these waivers and stuff like that. There we go, Ramen. We'll gain access together. But anyway, all of that is to say, I'm loving this artwork. I'm absolutely loving it. So the Hasbro team, you knocked it out of the park. The Afterlife film incorporated the tail fin of the Ecto 1 and a lot of this stuff. And now we have the firehouse as a part of this artwork. Haven't seen anything for a firehouse, but if they don't make a firehouse with so much emphasis on having the firehouse, it'll be a damn shame. That's all I'll say. A damn shame. But if you did not get, they had two Ecto 1s for Afterlife. They had a small, cheaper one, and they had this bigger one as part of the kid line. They also did a Plasma Series Ecto 1 that was nice, but was too small. Like it didn't match the 6-inch scale figures. It was more like not even 3 3/4, smaller than 3 3/4 kind of scale. But anyway, this was the Ecto 1 that they made for Afterlife. I thought it was the right call to not make it all rusty. It's basically, just your classic Ecto 1, but it does have the double flip out doors to do the gunner seat. And then it has a little gunner gun that attaches to the side. And then your figures can, attach to that seat. There's a little plug right there for the proton pack. And you can put any of the kid GBs, because they did a full wave of the kids as well as a full wave of the classic 84 Ghostbusters, can fit there. And then you had another seat in the front. And that was the only 2 seats, but it could fit the 4 figures as well as the RC trap, which is not in my Ecto 1 because Zach or Alex lost it somewhere. But anyway, it's a solid little Ecto 1. Does it beat Kenner's? No, but I think it actually is a really good Ecto. This thing far surpasses the Mattel one, which was like a smaller scale for those little blind bag figures. And what I love what they did with the Afterlife retail stuff is scale it to the original Kenner toys. So your Kenner Ghostbusters could work with the new stuff, or your new figures could work with the old Ghostbuster toys. So I love that aspect, and I think this is a really solid Ecto 1. And then this set basically just reuses this Ecto 1 mold. So let's take a look at it. There are some differences, though, which will merit me buying it. But to be honest, I was going to buy it anyway. But let's go past that artwork. The back shows the car again with the newer sticker sheet. You also have a little driver's license, which I think is a ton of fun. And unlike the first release that didn't have a companion ghost, we get a Slimer companion ghost that's part of its Ecto Stretch tech. So instead of leveraging the fright features elements that the companion ghost had for Afterlife, we now have these, I think, a really cool idea. This companion ghost that stretches or almost slimes your Ghostbusters. So I think it's a really cool change here on the approach, and I really dig it. But as you can see, it's essentially the same. Oh, and we have the drone ghost trap, which I think is really cool. And really, the only difference to the car is that you get the drone trap, and you have extra stickers to do the stripe along the front of the car, which extends the red fin all the way to the front, which we first noticed when they were shooting scenes in downtown New York, or with the car driving around, as well as we've seen in the trailer and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. It is a re-release, but it's enough new things to warrant it being bought again by me. Or if you missed out on the Afterlife Ecto 1, I think it's a pretty good pickup. But as a companion ghost, I think the Slimer's a lot of fun too. I agree with you, Old Musical Express. So many Slimers. Listen, they held back on the Slimers all about the mini puffs, which based on the marketing, maybe the mini puffs are still a part of it. So we'll see how that goes. So they held back, but alas, Slimers here in the second one. God, I wish they would do Ecto Cooler. Please do Ecto Cooler, Coca-Cola. Free Reign says red strip, a decal or pan up. I think a decal. I could be wrong, but just looking at the pictures, it looks like a decal more than a paint app. Sorry, a decal more than a paint app. Come on, Jay, could have just had new stickers. I know, that's what I'm saying. Okay, I know I'm not impartial. I was gonna buy it regardless. And yes, good call out, Free Reign. The white wheel stickers are gone. If you've seen my review of this car, I noted how the white wall stickers were the most frustrating part of this design. It mainly because there we go. It was in two parts, so you can see it in my review of it, and you can see how I kind of didn't do it perfectly right, because the fronts are a little bit easier, right? Because the wheel's fully exposed, but even still, I didn't get it perfect. But then these back wheels are not fully exposed. You kind of have to do it halfway and then start attaching the next one. And you can see I screwed it up a little bit on this one. Oh, yeah, there you go. See, I didn't complete on the back one. So I can see why they would refrain from doing. And I also messed up the stickers here when I did it, which again I talked about in my review. I put them vertically, I guess, instead of horizontally. Which, if you've watched this channel for a while, you know I hate stickers. So they don't have those. Let's see if High C does Ecto Cooler, then Kool-Aid can hit back with He-Man Thunder Punch. Sure, yeah, let's do it. It was torture, so I don't blame them dropping that. Do you have the new Proton Blaster? We'll talk about that in a second. I have the Afterlife version of it with me here, even though my kids have broken off some of the pieces of it. I agree, Aaron. I mean, it is the classic white wall design. So I totally get it. That's the preferred style. But the stickers were a pain in the neck. It would be nice to do paint apps, but they didn't. Luckily, it's a sticker that's not too difficult, so I feel like customizers could probably do a bang up job, or even a better job than the ones that came with the Afterlife one. But it's a pain. You're right. It is a PITA to do the back wheels. If you haven't checked out my review of the Afterlife Ecto 1, It's one of my more popular videos. So you just go to the main GDL Prime page. It should be in the top 5 of any of the videos I've done on the channel before. Maybe somewhere around there. All right, and then this kid's having a good time. Stretch Slimer. I think the companion ghost thing is really cool. The fake drone's fun, but I think it would do better if I'm not sharing my screen. I just realized that now. Sorry. The fake drone is fun, but I think a real one would be a hit toy. Number one Christmas boutique item for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I this was listed on Target.com, so at least we know it's going to be showing up at Target. I'll talk about it in a second, but I assume these are going to be on like toy websites like Entertainment Earth and maybe Big Bad Toy Store. Talk about that in a sec. Randall Guzik would love a set of GB2 stickers for the Ecto 1. Yeah, absolutely. As we all know, the Kenner Ecto 1A was still the Kenner Ecto 1. They just had a different sticker sheet, which didn't necessarily make it the most accurate, but it was serviceable. So it would be cool if there was an enterprising person that could make an Ecto 1A set for the Afterlife or the Frozen Empire Ecto 1. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Thoughts on the rumored 3.75-inch scale for this toy line? It won't be because they're using the same scale that the previous figures had, which is more of that classic 80s Kenner, like 4.5-inch scale. So the new toys scaled perfectly well with the vintage Kenner real Ghostbusters. The foot peg holes and the backpack holes all aligned in the same way. So if you watch my review of the first wave of the 84 GBs in the new style, like they work perfectly fine with the Firehouse, the vintage vehicles and beyond the Ecto 1, because it scales and the foot peg holes are the same to the vintage Kenner, which is great, which is really cool. Price points, if it was listed on Target, I feel like the price should have been on there. Well, let's see. I'm going to click a link. Does it go to Target? No, it does not. I would assume it'd be similarly priced to the other one. So let's look at the next toy. This Proton Blaster. But I guess, let's go to the chat, see if there's any other thoughts about this. $30, $27. So yeah, probably around there, $29.99 or something like that. We will talk about when they should be available because there is an online listing that is seemingly talking about when these will be available. So we'll talk about that in a second. So yeah, let's talk about, and if anyone wants to skim the article to try and see if they put the price on it, by all means, lead the way. Okay, so we have a Zap and Blast Proton Blaster, which is different, but using a same sculpt as the one they use in Afterlife. The main differences here is we have a slightly retooled tip. It seems like it doesn't. Maybe it does. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it comes with the Ghost Trap add-on that they had. And it's cast in black and yellow versus the one we got for After. Oh, damn it! I turned it on. Yeah. This one's very noisy. I wish my one critique of this one. Hold on, I'll make this bigger screen. Is you can't turn off the sound. So once you accidentally hit it, it will just talk and all that kind of stuff. But it's a really good little blaster. It had little, switches that would work. And it had these attachments. So it had this Ghost Trap attachment that you could put on the front, which was fun. And then it could go on the back. In terms of like how the boys would play that, they like the trap being on the back. And then there's this blaster extension that they have now lost that went on the front that had like a little swirly of the proton beam. But again, it's a neat little proton blaster. It is held up okay to play. Again, this has been in my boys' possession for a couple years now. They broke off part here and here, but they still use it. They still like it. So this new one is basically using that same sculpt. Car and wand are both $29.99. Big Slimer's also $29.99. Well, there you go. There's your prices. That seems a little much for the Slimer. The other two, that's about what they were this other go around. Free Reign, I completely agree. It will be great to see GB Toys on the shelf again. Because it's my favorite property. It's the thing I have been a geek about the longest, since I was 3 years old. It has been my favorite thing. So like just seeing it on shelves, period, just always brings me joy, regardless of what it is. But I will say, just like a kid's toy, it's a cool I liked how they used the blue, the more Kenner style or real Ghostbusters style blue. But it's cool they're going for the more movie accurate black. And I don't know if they're going to be re-releasing the cheaper Proton pack. That again, I did a review of all of these as well on the channel, which you can find. Hold on, where is it? Here we go. So they also did like a cheaper run of accessories. These didn't. No, these hit Target too eventually. But so you had a PKE meter, and this PKE meter is a great toy. Like the fact that it lights up and you can adjust it. You can even do the PKE meter tase. Like this is a great toy. Like I wish I had this toy as a kid. It's really, really good. The Proton pack itself looks fine on the back, but the inside is just kind of hollow plastic, which is not too dissimilar to the Kenner one, but it's a little bit thinner. And then the gun itself, this one's actually, I think, more fun than the bigger one. It's smaller, which works better for kids' hands, I will say. And the little effect of the spinning Neutrino wand, to me, is just a more fun toy. So when the boys are playing Ghostbusters, this is the one they like. They also really like the Answer the Call pack as well, because that one has a really good light on it that lights up. So we don't know if they're going to be redoing those, but at least we have this blaster here at $29.99. All right, and then the last thing, we got more images for this Squash and Squeeze Slimer that the chat's saying is going to be $29.99, and Mattel did something similar once upon a time. I'm going to switch my audio because I feel like it's starting to throttle my audio a little bit. I may hear a change in my audio. But they did about this size Slimer for the Answer the Call. If you remember, both Slimer and Slimerette were in Ghostbusters Answer the Call. And it was actually a nice little Slimer. It looked good. It had a pole tongue, these different noises. But it didn't do this. It didn't have this kind of squish action figure, which I think is pretty darn cool. Tom Charlton, I got the Afterlife Ecto 1. I like it so much. It stays here in our apartment. That's awesome. It's a really good Ecto. It's a really, really good Ecto. So given that Slimer will, I guess, be a part of this movie, we don't know how yet. We're getting a larger scale Slimer, and he looks like a lot of fun. Not shown here in these pictures is something that Ghostbusters News posted. I believe this was the Austin Ghostbusters. They had this picture originally. But it will have a movie accurate Slimer butt, which is a lot of fun. So anyway, I think this Slimer is pretty cool. I'll be picking it up because it's a Slimer. I'm buying all of these. I'm going to be completely honest about it. And then, so those are the ones that got kind of leaked, I guess. They got posted on Target.com. I say leaked because it looks like the official embargo or, for sale date is going to be January 14th. I'm only saying that because on Entertainment Earth, they have a Hasbro toy drop day, and it's looking like Sunday, January 14th, 9 p.m. Pacific. And it's basically, it says when there's a new toy launch coming, who are you going to call? nobody will call you. Sign up for a reminder. And so a bit of a hint there that's going to be Ghostbusters related. And if we're keeping that late March release date, it would make sense that, they would start, having these figures officially hit shelves, even though they're kind of already hitting shelves. So maybe the official sale date will be January 14th, if this is aligning with that. That's a couple weeks. So happy hunting. I'm going to be hunting all over for these because I'm really excited for them. 40 plus age recommended. But that's not all. Austin Ghostbusters. And did they say where they found these at? Because it doesn't look like Target or anything. I'll be curious where they found them. But anyway, they also had pictures for the first time of the action figures. This was like a smaller kind of boutique toy store. So maybe they didn't have or didn't pay attention to the embargo date. But they're basically using the same body sculpt that they had with the adults and the kids last time. By the look of it, it looks like they're using all the more grown up body types for the males. So the same figure form that we had with the 84 Ghostbusters, the Afterlife ones, are being used for Gruberson. But Phoebe and Callie Spangler are going to have a new sculpt by the looks of it, because the Phoebe sculpt in Afterlife was a smaller kind of kid scale figure, which it looks like this one does not use. So let's look at Kaylee right here. So her both Phoebe and Kaylee look to be using the same figure or new tooled body. But I love this Ecto Stretch design. I got to give props to Ryan Dole when we were talking about this in After Dark. He pointed out how the companion ghost, the slime matches the color of the companion ghost on the box art, which I think is awesome. It's kind of it's a new design, same to the Ecto one. I think it looks really cool. The Trevor head sculpt looks almost identical to the one that we got in Afterlife, but the body, actually no, the body looks about the same. So I think it's just a straight re-release for Trevor from the other one. But he comes with the Slimer companion ghost, which is awesome. Going back to Callie Spangler, she's got was it trash bag ghost or something? Possessor. So that's awesome. Love that. But I love how it stretches over. It's like they're getting slimed. It's like packaging companion ghosts and ectoplasm in one. And I just think that's absolutely brilliant. So Dragon's Lair. Does anyone know Dragon's Lair in Texas, maybe? Austin, Texas? Because they got the figures early, and I'm jealous. But yeah, let's see. Gruberson, he got Pukey, which is fun. And then Phoebe, she has it looks like an homage to Bad to Bone, which is a classic Kenner figure. But this one is being called Bonesy. Bonesy. Katie's Toys Man on the Wire. Thanks for being here, Katie's Toys. What was fun about the Afterlife 5 POA figures was the price point. Assuming similar here based on the tag. Yeah, absolutely. Right? Because it's $14.99 is the boutique mall toy shop price, right? Like they're always a bit pricey. My guess is the price at Target will probably be around $10, which is great. It is very Books a Million. Yeah, for sure. Flash, hope they don't ask Brazzers to name the next 2-pack. And there you go, Texas Toy Hunter. There is a Dragon's Lair in Austin. It's a comic and tabletop gaming store. Well, there you go. So they ordered a pack of Ghostbuster toys, ignored the street date, and just put them for sale, and people bought them up, which is great for them. So yeah, I think the $10 price point is great for these. And yeah, that is it. Not a ton, but I'm thankful we have new toys coming out. I love the new artwork. And hopefully, we don't know yet, but hopefully there's more to come. I if anything, I would love for a return of Ecto Cooler. There's a very, dip the toes in the water Ecto Cooler that was like exclusive to just the coolest of the cool people, which I was not one of them. But I would wish or hope that maybe I could get some Ecto Cooler again. Even though I have cases of it still from Answer the Call. But at this point, 2016 was how many years ago? 8 years ago? 9 years ago? I don't know, math. Somewhere around there. It's a lot of time. Ian says, please don't dip your toes in my Ecto Cooler. Video Power Gaming, someone was saying the new Phoebe body is Lucky's body from that would check. Because she was taller with that line. So if that's the case, because it looks like Callie Spangler is using that same buck. Like it almost looks identical. You have the sleeves down, same here, sleeves down, same kind of belt. So it looks like they're using that one again, which is fine. You did the tooling, but we're getting a Callie for the first time and a Greg Gruberson for the first time as well. Or sorry, Gary Gruberson, something with a G. Gary, Jerry, Greg. But yeah, I'm pumped. I'm gonna buy all these. How about you? Let me do a poll. Let's put a poll in the chat. How many of you are going to be buying these Ghostbusters Frozen Empire toys? And maybe this is kind of, was it working the jury or something like that? I don't know. But how many are you going to buy at least one of these new? I guess Frozen. It's just Frozen Empire is such a mouthful. Just FE Frozen Empire toys. Yes or no? Boom. Adam says getting the Slimer for sure. Red Zomac 5 says pass. Phoebe is giving big Egon energy. I mean, that's what she was playing in the other movie anyhow, so that makes sense. Exactly. Video Power Gaming, you're 100% right. It does look to be the same as the last one. You are 1,000,000% right there. Which again, I'm okay with. I don't think that's a bad thing. Ian says, if my kids ask, they get them. Same rule I had with Mutant Mayhem. I won't force my fandom on them, but if they're into it, I'm happy to oblige. Yeah, I have the same policy, Ian. And I think you saw my kids running around at Comic-Con. Maybe you did or didn't. I don't know. They were in and out. Again, raining terror on the comic convention floor. But I have that same policy. Just like, if you like it, awesome. But I think they also benefit from the fact that I'm buying it to review on the channel anyway. So they just take it and then it's theirs. So like all of the Mutant Mayhem stuff, it's theirs now. Like they got the sewer play set and the van and all the figures, and they just lay them all out on the floor and just have their adventures just like we did as a kid. But it does mean that I start to lose pieces or stuff gets broken, as happens when kids are playing with toys. Old Musical Express, really hoping they release a Firehouse in this line. I hope so as well. I will say, I mean, we don't know. We don't know till we know. But we don't see one yet. But maybe the line and movie does really, really well and they do another run at it and then we get the Firehouse. I don't know. We'll see. Stanley, so what Plasma Series figures may we might get? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's going to be an interesting year in toys for Hasbro, just because with all that's changing and going on with them and the layoffs and stuff like that, I wonder if we'll see almost a scaling back and almost like rebuilding again or something like that. I'd be curious to see what the play is in 2024 for Hasbro. Will they go as hard on some of these lines? Because it didn't look like Dungeons and Dragons did that great at big retail. Neither did Indiana Jones to a certain degree. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see how that all plays out. Agree, it has Firehouse would fight. I guess depends on the price, but hell, if the Eternia and the Cat's Lair funded, then yeah, I don't know why that Firehouse wouldn't fund. Here you go. It says, where's Ramen? Is he still here? Plasma scale Firehouse, bring it on. Yeah, absolutely, sure. I agree, Ian. I did really enjoy that movie. It's a shame that didn't do well. Shame it didn't do well. Give me HasLab Stay Puff. That's definitely an easy HasLab that could work. I think out of all of the things, I would love a Ecto One HasLab. I think I've said it before. That's what I would be about. Video Power Gaming. I'm concerned about the pack and ghost would dry out eventually. I'll have one and package one out. I think it just depends. I think it depends on the material. But it's a fair critique. Like, yeah, how long does it last? I mean, even a lot of the Kenner real Ghostbuster stuff is sticky and melty and stuff like that. So it just depends. Video Power get both the Ramen Firehouse and a HasLab Firehouse. Smash Monkey, these look kind of bad. I was expecting Plasma Series quality. Why aren't they doing Plasma Series? Is that line dead? We don't know. We don't know till we see something or not. You know, there was thoughts, and even I made a video that, Kenner Classics is dead because they're done. They're not putting on the shelves anymore, and we got more Kenner Classics this year. So you never know. Even if they're not doing them at the moment, they can still do it in the future. We just don't know how that's going to play out. But anywho, Ecto One or Firehouse HasLab is a day one back for sure. Space Danger be darned. Yeah, I agree. And I think the Ecto One HasLab becomes even more of a slam dunk if they do like a Ecto 1A conversion kind of thing, right? Because then you get the double dips. Because I'll tell you right now, I would buy both. I'd buy two so I could have a 1 and a 1A. Don't know if that's possible, but that's just something about a vehicle that you can turn and make it look in different ways, I think does help with the overall sales of the thing. But I think Smash Monkey, I think what I love about these figures, and again, they're just reusing sculpts from Afterlife, is they're just kind of like, what would Kenner do today for Ghostbusters today, as if they were still the Kenner of the 80s. And that's what I really like about the kids stuff that Hasbro's done for Ghostbusters, because these toys are way more fun, at least in my opinion, than the Lucasfilm stuff. So the Indiana Jones and the Star Wars kid toys, which are smaller, like the 2-inch scale figures, are tiny. And sure, they get vehicles and stuff, but I feel like that Kennery 4.5-inch scale figure is the most fun to play with as a toy. And I just love the more cartoony style, everything. I think it's really, really cool. Tom Charlton, Dollars Donuts of Fires is coming back. I bet it's a Pulse exclusive, $130. Sure, yeah. I'd buy it anyway. I'd buy it anyway you do. These youngins don't get the Kenner style stuff we love. But I'll tell you what, my kids, out of the toy, I buy all this stuff, right? I review it on the channel. Some things they like, some things they don't. Some things they don't give two craps about. And just my own kids, they have gravitated towards the Mutant Mayhem stuff, which is against that 4.5-inch scale figure. And then these Afterlife toys in this scale, they really like it because you can actually play with the toys. And I just know for myself as a kid, I preferred this scale the best as well. Studio Henge, I want a full shelf of 6-inch Ghosts and Spirits, so fingers crossed for the Plasma Series. Yeah, but the Plasma Series last time didn't give us any ghosts or whatevers. So like, would we get it with this line? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, because I'm a Plasma Series completist as well, but what did we get? We got 2 Terror Dogs and the Terror Dog Sentinel guy, Gozer, which is not really a ghost. Was that it? We didn't get like any transparent spooky ghosts, did we, in Plasma Series? I don't think we did. Maybe it's been a couple years now. Well, our friends at Phantasm have done a really good job making a bunch of ghosts. They really have. So maybe they could do more ghosts. Maybe Ramen Toys can do more ghosts. Who knows? If Ramen Toys wants to help doing sculpts for 6-inch ghosts, if Hasbro fails us, I volunteer. There you go, Ian. I'd love that. I'd love to see what you come up with. Oh, Ghost. Yeah, we got Ghost Egon. You're right. You're right. We did the the family that busts together 2-pack. But yeah, that's it. That's it. Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. But anyway. All right. Once and for all, Ghostbusters 2. Is it a New Year's movie? But let's close out this poll. So let's see. We had 58% of you say yes and 41% say no. So there you go, Hasbro. People want to buy the stuff. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. There you go. Open to assist. There you go. Hey, Ian, there's your in. There's your in. Justin, I agree. I think it looks awesome. All right, one last poll just for funsies as we close out here. Is Ghostbusters 2 and you have to choose either or. You can't do both. A Christmas movie or a New Year's movie. I always wonder how the polls work for people that like aren't in the chat. Let me know in the comments if you're watching this after the fact. Like, are the polls, or at least living through these polls after the fact, are they as fun as they are when we do it live? I'm going to start this poll: Christmas or New Year's? Let's settle it once and for all right here. We do need red jackets, but like I feel like an enterprising person, a la Ramen Toys, or I'm thinking of I'm blanking on their name now. People that did all the capes. Why am I blanking on the cape guy's name? Anyway, I'm sure an enterprising customizer or small scale indie kind of toy company could make us cloth goods jackets for sure. Plasma Series isn't dead. We don't know. We don't know till we know, right? But again, I would say no toy line is dead, even if it's not on shelves right now. Like does that make sense? Like, we've seen toys come back time and time again. Kate Master, thank you. Good Lord. Yeah, Kate Master. There we go. It's hard. It's hard when you're doing this live. Oh, whew. All right, get your votes in, but it looks like a landslide. Is Ghostbusters 2 a Christmas movie or a New Year's movie? I guess I'll wait. How many? Almost 100 people are watching right now. I'll wait till we hit 50 votes then to close it out. So get your votes in if you haven't gotten your vote yet. It's in this. I know. It's Kate Master. I forgot. Well, I'm about to go put it on. So Decision Desk calls it. All right. I'm going to end the poll once we hit 50 votes. So get your votes in, people. Get them in. Smash asks, is that a Billy bookcase? No, it is an Expedit. Before they canceled Expedits, because now they're called Calax, but it's a big Expedit. So it's a huge Expedit thing. That has a bunch of different figures. It's not too changed from the last time I did a toy room tour. So if you want to check it out, I've done 2 toy room tours. I haven't done one since because it really hasn't changed all that much since the last time I did one. I do have big changes planned. I just haven't gotten to them yet. One day, this year, this is my New Year's resolution. This is the year I finally redo this toy room. I'd also I'd forget live also. That's why. Exactly. That's why I love doing the live chat. You'll keep me honest. All right. I'm gonna end the poll. It's over 50. Okay, it evened out a little bit, I will say. But it is 66% of you say that it's a New Year's movie, and 33% say it's a Christmas movie. So there you go. It's been decided. I love the Darkwing Duck plane and the Tailspin plane, 2 Grails. Yeah, I was very fortunate to try to find those in the 2000s. When it was still hard to find them, but I guess they're probably not as expensive as they are now. I got to work properly on the collection that is in this room now in the 2000s. Mid to late 2000s when I really started like, okay, I'm gonna get back into like collecting everything that I had as well as everything I wanted to have as a kid, and that's the bulk of my collection. Anything modern generally is tied into the things that I loved as a kid, with exception to some really cool modern independent new toy lines that also tap into that same energy, like AWOC, Saurozoic Warriors, and many others that are out there right now. Legends of Dragonor. There's a lot of cool new stuff that's as fun as the things we loved as kids, which is great. I've only seen the bad guy plane from Tailspin, and that was boxed, so we had a price. Yeah, I got the tri-plane more recently. My toy shop got one in. The tough part about now having two toy shops within an hour of me, and John's one of my best friends, and then the Cro-Mag Toys, which is literally across the street from me. It's like they know what I like, and then when they get something, they're like, "Hey Jay, you want this?" And I'm like, "Yep, I'll be right there." Sam Laurie finally caught a slide. Well, thank you so much. Thanks for coming to hang out. But yeah, I think let's see. Yeah, I always want to talk about my Price League, but Trick or Treat is hitting that vintage line running. Yeah, the Trick or Treat stuff looks good. So yeah, I had a full carded set of Toxic Crusaders, which I sold before they all got. I sold a lot of carded stuff before it got stupid expensive. I had a set of Ecto Glows that I sold for cheap, like under maybe I sold for $50 a piece cheap. The Toxic Crusaders, I had the whole set. I think I sold that whole set for like $300. I had a whole bunch of carded stuff 7-ish years ago that I was planning for part of this toy room that I ended up not going with, to have like a retail wall with all vintage carded stuff and box stuff. And I was like, I don't want to do that. So I sold it all. Most of it. I kept some of it. But I've also had a open loose set for over a decade now. Would love Playmates to reissue Darkwing Duck and Tailspin with new DuckTales and Chip and Tales figures. That would be awesome. I don't know if they'll ever do it though. Like Playmates hasn't played in the Disney waters since those lines, right? I don't know. It'd probably have to be some other company gets the IP and then does them. That would be my guess. But before, as we're starting to wind things down here, I want to thank the people that make this show possible, the patrons of the Geek Dad Life community. Thank you so much to your patronage. If you want to become a patron, if you want to help make this show possible and make more of these things happen, I've got 2 reviews that I'm looking to post this week. One of them is Turtles of Grayskull. I got all 4 figures, as well as my big TMNT van versus all 3 of them. Those videos are going to drop this week on the Geek Dad Life Prime, so make sure you tune in there. But those videos won't be possible without the patrons that give $5 or more a month. So there's never an obligation, but consider joining. Your name will be in the credits at the end of every episode, at least live episode. And then you get access to our exclusive after show on Sunday nights, Geek Dad Life After Dark, which is a ton of fun. And then you also get access to our Patreon Discord, which is like these live chats, but even longer. So go to patreon.com/geekdadlife. Consider getting access to all that fun stuff for only $5. And then exactly, some people are seeing their names right now, which is a lot of fun. Smash. I think any 80s property could have an Origins like comeback. Absolutely. Because Origins is the perfect toy. It really is. Jason says, worth it for every Sunday alone. Yeah, we have fun on After Dark. And I think Colleen, I asked if she would be, y'all really love Colleen on After Dark, to be a more permanent guest host for Geek Dad Life After Dark. And this, oh man, this Sunday, I've got the perfect After Dark topic. I'll just tease it right now. You all know and love, or maybe you don't, I don't know. But on Reddit, they have the Am I the A-hole posts. Well, somebody posted on there an Am I the A-hole, AITA, or whatever the acronym is, of a person that was asking, am I the a-hole because I don't want to give my kid the bigger room that would supplant my toy room collection room. I want the bigger room for the toy room. and not my kid. And that will be the main topic for this coming After Dark. And I think it'll be a really fun one. And Colleen will be there. And it'll be a fun discussion. It'll be a fun discussion. And maybe a little triggering for sure. Trust me, I miss John as well. He's too damn busy with his shop. We gotta keep buying more and more stuff from his shop so that we get so successful he can like hire staff so he doesn't have to work there every single day as well as do his online sales. Katie says F them kids. This is a real discussion here. Awesome. Hey, listen. Yeah, it'll be fun. Rotax, if the kids are not paying rent. Brian Carr, my only requirement for my house was a finished basement for my toys. It's why one of the reasons I bought this house, there were 3 rooms on the basement level. I was like, I'm taking the biggest room in the basement. You all can have your normal life rooms everywhere upstairs, but down here, this is my sanctuary. Smash Monkey, the adult has earned the right. Well, it should be a fun discussion on the upcoming Sundays After Dark. But anyway, Alpha Magnus asked, anyone get the Turtles of Grayskull today? Lots of pre-orders. I have the full set. Thanks to John from Hero Source Toys and Collectibles. Please check him out if you probably are all following him. And actually, after I do this live stream, I'm going to film my unboxing of them to post. My goal is tomorrow. My thoughts on those figures. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, all the orders went live today, and they should be hitting retail. I think Craig sent me a text. He found them at his Walmart the other day. So the Turtles of Grayskull stuff should be hitting now. Today was the official like release date. So happy hunting on Turtles of Grayskull. I haven't taken them out of the box yet. They look awesome. But my video thoughts will be posted tomorrow on GDL Prime. So be ready for that. And that's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight, everybody. Super excited for more Ghostbusters toys. I just went and saw Aquaman today. Aquaman 2 or whatever they're calling it. It was dumb. But it was fun. But it was dumb. It was dumb fun. I guess my official review. Saw Wonka with the fam. That I loved. Love me some Paul King, the Paddington guy. Really love Wonka. I cried, but I'm an easy crier. And yeah, Aquaman was dumb, but dumb fun. Happy New Year, everybody. 2024, it's here. Ghostbusters is 40 years old. We're getting old. But anyway, we'll see you all next time. Hasta luego. And goodbye. Take care, everybody.